Good morning, everyone. Just dropped all my cards. Where did I put my card? There it is. Found my card. Hello. This is about as not as chaotic as it's gonna be. This is gonna be a chaotic video. Welcome. Hi. My name is Helen. I'm the Diddy Stitcher. My pronouns are she, her. It is Friday, the 24th of November. Happy birthday, Dee! It's Dee's birthday. And it is the day after a federal holiday in the US. So if you've got the day off and you're stitching, happy days. It is also what is referred to as Black Friday. I can't say I've not participated in Black Friday because I have. Me and my husband needed new phones. You can't really buy, you know, I got a Samsung, he got a Sony phone from small hand makers on Etsy. So we saved £300. Like, if you need to buy it and it's money off, that's money saved. But if you don't need it and you buy it because it's money off, that's still 100% of your money that you've spent. That's my little Martin Lewis quote for the day. Welcome. I feel like myself like racing towards the end of the year. This time of year, I'm like, November always is funny for me. Like I feel like we're like most of the way through autumn, which is my favorite time of year, and the nights are really drawing in. It's getting to like 3 o'clock here and getting really dark, and I'm thinking, oh, it's like time to finish up for the day. I'm like, no, I've got 2 hours left of my day before I have to go pick Anna up or do whatever or finish work. And it's hard. I haven't got my little sad lamp out yet. I think I need to get my sad lamp out. But yeah, what was I going to say about that? It's like getting towards the end of the year. We're all itching for that end of year holiday, some time out, and whether it's like, you know, we live on the Gregorian calendar of Christmas if you celebrate, and then New Year's, and then it's a new year, January 1st. And like, I get that. I do feel like, I do like a clean slate like that, but I'm not necessarily bound on dates. But it's the time of year is definitely like I need to hibernate, and I'll have a sleep and I'll be ready to go next year. But yeah, so that was all to say that I pulled the world today, which I think was so fitting for kind of what I'm feeling right now and what I want to do with this video. By the title, you're gonna hear about my next year plans. So this is the world. This is the last of the major arcana. You've travelled all the way through them, and you're at the end. You're at the end of the cycle. You're celebrating everything that you've achieved, and you're ready to take on the next one, which is just exactly what I'm feeling. I'm just ready to take on next year. I've got so many finishes. Like, last video and this video is like more finishes than I've ever had all year, and I've got exciting plans for next year. So this is just perfect. I love tarot. So yeah, if you're feeling that, if you're feeling like you're ready to, you're already celebrating what you've achieved and you're ready to start a new cycle, you know, because this is the end. You don't get a prize for getting there, we all go back around the same cycle. What I'm loving, I think I've skipped this a few times the last couple of videos, and this is with one of the things that I want to do next year is like kind of, oh, I'm getting a work call, hold on. Good morning.
Good morning, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Alex just brought me another cup of tea. Where's hot? Where was I? What I'm loving. Notion. You've heard me talk about Notion. If you've watched me before, I love it. I love Natty. Like, it's amazing. I had said in previous videos that I have a link to my Notion down below, so you can see like what I'm doing. If anybody actually uses that, you'll find that it doesn't work anymore. Because I've switched over to Natty's version, and as great as it is, I don't want to share it. Like, I can't. You can't share it. Like, I just had a view page when I shared it before, so you could see everything that was a whip. So if I was talking about it here and you wanted to see exactly what thread and fabric that I was using, you could see. You couldn't see like everything. But the way that it's set up now, it doesn't quite work like that. I might try and figure out a way for it to work, but I'm just going to take the link out for now. If you're interested in having that back, if you did use it, I'm not sure if anybody did. I don't think I really had any analytics on it. But I'm just going to take it out. So if you're watching this later on and you're like, why isn't it working? That's why. Sorry, my knee really hurts. I've pulled a muscle in my knee and I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, so I'm sat a bit funny and chaotic. Yeah. So yeah, loving Notion. The link's not there anymore. I don't think it really matters. If you've got a question about any of my whips, you can always comment, DM me on Instagram, whatever. I will link Natty's link below so you can go and buy the template because it's amazing. I'll link her video tutorial that she did with Michelle, so you can see it before you buy it. If you've got any questions about Notion, I'm happy to talk about it because I love it. It's amazing. But that was just that kind of little housekeeping bit as well. It's still hot, Helen, while you're drinking it. So yeah, that was that. Oh, I'll talk about this as well because I did my July Stitch for Pride. I still haven't caught up how many I've got, like, what, 4 to go, and then, you know, we're nearly in December, so 5 to go to catch up on. I will do that before the end of the year. This month it was when I've written it down, Wendy Carlos, trans composer, synth composer, like amazing composer, worked on the Shining soundtrack. I haven't watched The Shining. I don't do horror movies. But yeah, that was really interesting. Lots of other trans and non-binary musicians to look at, indies, information that they put together for us. And then a really interesting article about the Lavender Panthers in San Francisco in like the 60s, I think. Yeah, really, really interesting information. Thank you again, Dee. We are not worthy. And really excited to see what Dee is doing for next year for Stitch for Pride. They're gonna do a little sale, I think. Something that you can purchase, which is great because we need to support Dee financially for all the work that they do. Because I'm guilty of dropping off the bandwagon. But if I've paid for stuff up front, then Dee still gets paid. for doing that work. So I'm all indie. What else? I've got like 3 different notebooks around me. Chaos. Right, stitching. I don't know how long this video is now till we get to the stitching, but first I've kind of got a half fully finished. It's kind of, I've just stuck it in a frame. Oh, the glare with the glass. I was going to take the glass out anyway, and it's like, it's just shoved in there. I was just kind of seeing if this frame worked. I think it does. I'm going to take it out so I can actually show you. There you go, without the glare, but with some shadow. Anyway, so this I finished this week. This is Cross Patch by Pixel Pixie X Stitch. It was let me get stats. Okay, so I started this on January 9th, 2023. Finished it November 16th, 2023. So that's like 10 months, which is just ridiculous for something like this. So yeah, this is or mostly uncalled for. I think the flowers are DMC. This is a Karen Wildflowers, which is kind of like a pearl cotton. It's like 1 ply. This is Cottage Garden Threads Chamomile. I thought it was appropriate for the tea. But yeah, this is Cross Patch. So I think I'm gonna keep it in that frame. And put it near my door because it says Cross Patch, draw the latch, sit by the fire and spin, take a cup and drink it up, then call your neighbours in. And while I was stitching it, I realised that it's like the American spelling of neighbours. The English spelling we would put a U in there, but I'd already stitched like the your. I could have squeezed it in, but I didn't. But I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, this was on, let me say, 2/2 on a 36 candle linen that I dyed myself. I call it denim blue because that's about what it is. Sorry, I'll do it this way. It was 2,814 stitches in here, thanks to Pattern Keeper. I know that. Yeah, that was really fun. I was sorry that it took so long to stitch. So then my other one, I should get ready first with all this stuff. Tiny paintings. I haven't had a chance to wash this or iron this, so apologies. That's not the right one. This is, it's really bad there. This is what I call tiny paintings. This is, it's kind of black work. It's all like individual back stitching, but in different colours, to give the illusion. But again, like I just wanted some finishes and, yeah, you can see where I've drawn the outline because these are individual patterns that I've just put together. And I was gonna outline them all in like a metallic gold to like look like they're framed, but I tested this. So the top one's DMC Diamant, and the bottom one is DMC Light Effects. I didn't like either of them. I did start around the scream and it just didn't look great. So I'm just gonna frame it in a tiny little frame all together in like that kind of gold ornate frame that they do artwork in. And it was quite hard to find somewhere because this is like 2 inches by 2.5 inches, and like 2.5 by 3.5 frames are pretty well readily available. So it would fit, but the proportions would be off. So it would be like way longer than I needed it to be. So I think I found somebody on Etsy that 3D prints like doll's house frames, and they said they can do them in any dimensions. I haven't contacted them yet. But I will see. I'll see if I can give this a really good wash and get that. It's just tailor's chalk, so it should come off that that thing. But yeah, again, something that took me I started in March 12th. So this took 8 months. Like, that shouldn't have taken me 8 months. I mean, there was a lot of colours. I think altogether there was like 200 colours or something. But it really makes it, I mean, like, you can tell that that's the Mona Lisa. Like, they're iconic artwork. So yeah, this is Tom Katsumi. These are free patterns on his Instagram. It was a little experiment of his, and he asked people to stitch them. So I finished them now. I really like them. It's like good tiny stitching. I mean, it's 20 count Aida, so you could get them tinier. But yeah, it doesn't take too long. It's a bit fiddly, but yeah, so I think I'll frame it in a little doll's house frame and see how it looks. Just like that. Oh, that looks cute. I've not done that before. I'm gonna like put it up here. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That'll be cute. So I'll message that person and see if they can do something to my specifications. Maybe see if the depth can be altered, because I think they're really, doll's house frames are really thin, because I think all you do is you put a piece of paper with your picture on it and like stick it directly to the doll's house wall and then frame it, put the frame on the wall, rather than, you know, it's got a back and it's got a mount. Like, it doesn't have any of that. It's just a frame. So I'll have to see how I finish it, like, logistically, in that. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Ooh. Very happy. So yeah, glad to have another finish. And then I had to finish again. I don't know what the acronym would be. FAO? FAO. Finished again object. Anyway. Ta-da! This is Forest Path by Ink Circles. This is part of the First Most Magnificent Ink Circles round robin. Ooh. This is Deanna, Darling and Whimsy's piece. And if you'd seen my my last video, you'll have seen that she sent it and she hadn't finished her section. She was going through some stuff and couldn't finish it in time, and I said I'll give it a go, finishing it up for you. And I got a little bit the way through, and then I got my model stitching, and I was like, I need to concentrate on my model stitching. And then I'm like really far ahead with my model stitching, so I finished it. I was like, I'm not going to send it to the next person in our group and say, can you know, do some extra work, please? You know, I could have, but honestly, that was never going to happen. I was always going to finish it. So it took me like a couple of hours it was mostly just filling in that path. So yeah, now I'm like happy that I can send it off and it's all fully finished. Well, ready for the next person to do their quarter. And Deanna's happy, so I'm happy. Oh, that was the working copy. What next? Well, I'll talk about my model stitching. I can't show you because it's a surprise. This is the model stitching that I'm doing for Yasmin's Made with Love. I have 4 of her patterns that she's releasing next year. And I've done 2,582 stitches started November 10th. 2 weeks. And I have a little tracker. Not in Notion, just like a little kind of count up formula in Excel. Where's it gone? I think I can show you this because it's not really anything sensitive. So, oh God, reflections. So this is the number of stitches across all 4 of those designs. 26,892 stitches. So I've split down to, so my deadline for all of them cumulatively is like the end of May, and I've worked it out to like the first week in May to give me some extra wiggle room as well. So I worked it out that from the 10th of November when I started to the first week in May, I have to do 150 stitches a day. And obviously there are days, a couple of days goes by, I don't stitch at all because I'm busy. So I've got this little tracker to tell me if I'm behind or ahead. So last time I stitched was the 21st, and that day I stitched 721 stitches, and I was 781 stitches ahead of target. So that gave me like the next couple of days are in green, you see? So I could go up to like the 25th. I could not stitch up until the 25th and still be ahead of schedule. So that's why I decided to take a few hours to stitch on Deanna's, because I got the space. Another work call. I mean, I was expecting this video to be chaotic, but not very chaotic. So, what have I done? I talked about I don't even know where I am now. Talked about my model stitching. It's going well, is all I can say about that. Right, now, my new start last night is this. This is a pattern from Threads of Diaspora. They're on Instagram. I've written some notes about them because I didn't want to mess it up, really. The Threads of Diaspora is the spread of people from their original homeland. It's a Tatrice pattern project born in Edmonton, Alabama, Canada. And Tatrice is a traditional Palestinian embroidery. Their goal is to aspire to become an ambassador of peace and unity, and their mission is to preserve the heritage, empower communities, foster inclusivity, and global collaboration. And the project Threads of Diaspora, I practiced that so hard, it has 4 phases currently. So they've gone through stages 1 and 2, and phase 1 was 441 of these individual Tatrice patterns that they designed and stitched, and it took 4 months to do like a 6 meter squared quilt of them. Phase 2 is to pay tribute to the participants' ancestry and acknowledge the village and cities of Palestine, some of which no longer exist. So these are all Palestinian people that have contributed to this first quilt. And then phase 3 was to incorporate designs and colours not only from the Middle East, so from around the world, Asia, Europe, and the Americas, demonstrating the connection between Palestine and the diverse world their people have been scattered to. And then phase 4, which is this, what I'm doing right now, are more designers, more patterns, to do another quilt called a Palestinian resistance quilt. So all you do is you go to their Instagram page, I will link it below, and you fill in the Google form to register your interest, and then they will send you a pattern, a unique pattern, and you stitch it on 11 count Aida with number 8 pearl cotton, and you send it back to them and they'll make it into a quilt. So this is what I have so far. It's 11 count Aida, look how big it is! It's huge! I'm like having to like zoom out. Normally I'm like right up here with like my 40 count. This is 11 count. Crazy. So this is just a 45 by 45 stitches. This is my pattern that I have. I had to order the Aida and the pearl cotton because I didn't have any. And when I'm finished, I'll email and say that I'm finished. I need the address of where to send it. But also, because I've seen other, like all the other people that are involved in it, they're doing it in lots of different colours. I don't know whether it's like you have to do it in those colours or it's just a suggestion, because I like to do more because I have like more of this fabric and a ton of thread. That, you know, apart from Anna maybe using it, but she's got a huge piece of 11 count Aida. I'd like to do some more. If I'm sending one to Canada, I might as well send, you know, 3 or 4 if I can get it on this fabric. But I'm not sure if like the specific colours, like whether there's another pattern that needs those colours, or I can get another pattern and just do it in those colours. I don't know, I'll email them and see. Because I like to do more because it's going to take me next to no time. This was about an hour's worth of stitching last night while I watched the Great Pottery Throwdown. So yeah, I mean, it's completely different to what I normally do, obviously, so it was a breath of fresh air in that respect. I just want to show you my needle minder. The perfect needle minder for this one. So yeah, if you've got some 11 count Aida, if you've got some number 8 pearl cotton, or you know, you're making an order from 123 Stitch or wherever you're ordering from, or LNS that you're popping into, see if you can contribute. It's really fun, and it's an important cause to celebrate Tatrice and, you know, make sure we don't lose it. So that was all my stitching. I need to update my board because that's a lot of so my tiny paintings, I finished that, so I'll take off the label. And I'll put it down here. And what else? Cross patch. Cross patch. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, so this is my board. So everything that's right side up, I haven't worked on in this kind of round. So White Star. I picked out already because I did want to check. So if you've not been here before, I've got 2 full coverage patterns that are like sisters to each other. There's Moe Imperial and Moe White Star. It's like the artwork of an advertisement for Moe Chardon Champagne by Alphonse Mucha. This is what I have on it so far. So I'm trying to work on both of them in kind of equalness. And thanks to Notion, I can now track like the percentage, because this is by Scarlet Quince and they have their own version of Pattern Keeper purely for Scarlet Quince patterns. It doesn't readily tell you percentage as Pattern Keeper does. So I think this is at 13 point something percent and Imperial's at like 15%. So I want to get this to 15%, whatever that kind of looks like for this one. So I don't think it's going to be too long to do that. So I'll just take it downstairs and work on it for however long I need to do that. And then I can turn it upside down and then I can work on them back to back rather than like long periods in between. So yeah, so I'll do that. And then the only other things that I've got for this round is Arcadia by Satsuma Street. I've got Biscornest, Gingerbread House, and my Renato Parolin, 2 kind of bell pulls. Cabin in the Woods and Cinnamon Stars. Sycamore Gap's up here. It's kind of floating at the minute. I could put it in Primitive, I could put it in Sampler. Maybe I'll put it in Sampler. Yeah. I'll put it in a pink bag. And then all of these are spare. And that's my Let's Make a Statement for when Dee does their next statement piece. So I've got no like official smalls. That now that Tiny Paintings is done, this will be more for like Mill Hill ornaments and stuff that don't need like a whole lot of stuff for them. So once maybe I'll try and touch on all of these in the next couple of weeks before the new year, because in the maybe like around New Year's Eve I'll do a whip parade and go through all of these and we'll see where we are on them. So how many weeks have we got? Let me do some maths, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to need to touch on 2 of these a week just to kind of get them going. Possible there will be some UFOs come New Year's Eve, but at least I'll have touched on everything fairly recently to kind of give me an idea. So yeah, that's the plan. White Star, get a couple more percent, and then just try and turn those over and see what we've got. And model stitching, of course. So I did have some haul. I've got some regular haul and then I've got like 2024 plan haul. So I'll do regular haul and then we'll do 2024 plans / haul for those plans. So first, happy mail. I got a lovely package from dear Anna Books and Stitches. A little card and her tarot pull for me. So if you don't know, I trade tarot cards. So what you can do is, if you have a deck, like a trading deck, you can give it a shuffle and pull Thinking of Me and I will pull Thinking of You from my trading deck, and then we swap for each other. So I sent Anna's a couple of months ago, I think, and she just got around to sending mine, which is absolutely fine. And she also sent me a project bag with this amazing like oracle deck on it. Amazing. Like beautiful, beautiful work, Anna. Nice little Hamsa hand. Zipper pull. Oh, lovely zip. Just absolutely fantastic, Anna. You need to start selling these. So yeah, don't know what I'm going to put in there. But thank you so much. I'm very appreciative of that, Anna. The card that she pulled was the Ace of Cups. What was this deck? This is the Y Spell Neoteric Feminine Tarot deck. I think there's two versions. This like full version, and then another version with the artwork like slightly cropped, and then like keywords for the cards, which I think is really cool. So these are definitely on my to buy list. Look at that beautiful back. Gorgeous. So Ace of Cups, I love the Ace of Cups. It's one of my favorite. So Anna says, according to my book, when the Ace of Cups presents itself, some deep well or spring of emotional force is bubbling up inside you or around you. It promises the beginning of intimate connections guided by the heart. Open yourself up to love and compassion. Draw deep feelings to the surface and let them shine. Beautiful. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to room with you in Stitch North in April. I was going to say March. I was like, no, it's not March. Then I got my Fabric of the Month Fibre on a Whim. I get the 36 count Fat Eighth. This is, what is this? Wheat. Lovely neutral. And I think next month will be 6 months that I've been in this fibre on them, and I don't think I've used any of them so far. So I've requested to switch to the 40 count just to change stuff up a bit. And then I might need some more 40 count for my plans next year. And then the other haul that I got was two, they're like really stuck together, two of these Rainbow Bobbins needle minders from Hello Treacle. I've got some stashed away already, but I love giving these as gifts. They're like super cute. So Amy had them on sale just to get rid of some old stock, so I snatched those up. Okay, 2024 plans. I don't know how many hours I've spent like sat in front of all of this trying to get my head around it, of what I need to do and when I need to do it, and all of these. So yeah, first plan that I've got a haul for. I'll just show you all of this to start with, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Whipco 2024. I tried it in 2022. It didn't work. I got to about June and I fell off the wagon, which what happened? Stitch Pride. I just fall off things. It just, the ADHD thing, I don't know. So I don't want to commit myself to a Whipco that's just like everything. I want a very specific Whipco. So I wanted to do Deanna's Quirky Quakers for like ever, but I just never get sit down and do it. So I'm going to do Quirky Quakers. But I'm going to make those Quirky Quakers into a quilt, an EPP quilt, English paper piecing. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I've got all the gear and no idea. Let's see what gear we got. So, I guess this isn't haul from this time, but as part of the Hearts for Pam stuff, I had ordered the Tack It Easy gadget from them. They do English paper piecing. I thought that's a great idea. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, I'll get it. So this is the 1-inch hexie template, and then Tack It Easy gadget. So I'm going to do 1-inch hexies for my quilt, because tiny. So I need some 40 count to do tiny little Quirky Quakers. And they're not all exactly the same size, I don't think, so maybe I can do some on 36, maybe I need to do some on 56. But it'll just be a patchwork of joy. So I've got some hexies, just someone on eBay, rather than me trying to just put like a little example of like a hexie with that's got stitching like holding it together, but I don't really know. I'm still confused about how it works. I need to look at a tutorial. So I bought all the stuff and I haven't even looked at a tutorial. That's probably not the best idea. But she did send like this little thing about how to put the hexies together. So maybe I just look at that. I got a rotary cutter. Never used a rotary cutter in my life. This looked like a good one. It's got a safety guard because I'm pretty bad at putting stuff away. So it's like guarded there, and then you press the button and then you can shoot your fabric. I did do some research on the glue situation because I didn't know what the glue thing was, and everybody said this Soline glue pen, and then it came with refills. I got a new cutting mat, just a little one because my one's like huge, so if I'm just doing 1-inch hexies I don't need a huge A3 cutting mat. It smells really horrible. I need to air that out. And then I got a jelly roll. I always see these at the craft shop, and what do you do with them? I don't know. I think they're the right size for a hexie. Like, it's the right depth, so I'm not gonna get like fussy cutting. But like I love seeing everybody's fabric that they choose for like project bags, or like people that I do follow that do quilting. And I saw this, this is the Tilda Hibernation series, and it's just absolutely me, like all over. So I thought, rather than me going and trying to choose like lots of different types of fabric, this is like the entire collection in a jelly roll. I can just cut little pieces up and, based on the Quirky Quaker that I'm doing, put different colours together and next to each other. So my plan is to have a Quirky Quaker completely surrounded by fabric hexies, and then attach the next Quirky Quaker. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but it took all my strength not to open this before I showed you, because I feel like as soon as I open it, it's just going to get unwieldy. If I looked at some videos on YouTube of like really long skinny boxes that people keep their open jelly rolls in, and I don't know if I need something like that or I could just fold them up again. It looks like each one is like layered. But like, I don't know. It like, it has a lot of different colours. I made a little list of all the quirky Quakers, and I think I'm only gonna do like the animal type quirky Quakers. Deanna's got like example for like a witch's hat. I don't think I do the witch's hat, but I would do a skeleton. There's like some that I'm just not going to add, and then of course based on the colour, colour of my fabric, colour of my floss, like you can do so many different things with a quirky Quaker. That's my one plan. To tackle EPP, I probably should practice a little bit, but I don't know if anybody's got any hints, tips, like good tutorials that they've seen on YouTube, please let me know, because I'm completely out of my depth at the minute. Very enthusiastic, very out of my depth. What else was I going to say? Oh, the other thing was like, so I've put it on a whip go board, so 25, I think there's like around 50 quirky Quakers that I want to do. There's more quirky Quakers, but like I said, not doing the kind of non-animal things. And I hear on the grapevine there's more coming for 24. So I've put them on a whip go board, and then it decides which one I stitch. I'm losing my words here. Which ones I stitch and which ones I buy, because I can't really buy 50 quirky Quakers all in one go, as much as I would love to. And then it takes away the decision making. So rather than it being a push or a challenge to do these quirky Quakers, it's like, do these quirky Quakers, because you're going to do them all eventually. And then I don't have to decide right away which ones go with which. I'm not going to like make the quilt in the order that it's pulled. I can still move them around based on how it looks. Did that make any sense whatsoever? Because I'm not sure it makes sense in my head. I'm not sure how next year is going to go with that plan. But all the gear, no idea. Second plan. What the fuck, Jacob Sal? What the hell, Jacob Sal? What did Michelle call it? What the fuck? What the hell? What the hell, Jacob? Modern Folk Embroidery 2024 Sal. What do you call it? Time Flies? Something like that. Now, I'm a big fan of Modern Folk Embroidery. I think apart from Move Forward in Love, I think that's the only Modern Folk Embroidery that I've stitched. I appreciate all of the patterns that Jacob produces. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't stitch them. When he released that one, oh, I fell in love. I have to stitch it. What to stitch it on, what to stitch it with. I kind of want to go tiny. I kind of want to go tiny stitching. So I've ordered some oh, it's so soft. 40 count Vidal, 40 count even weave. Oh, it's so soft. It's like butter. And then I had these in my stash because I don't really want to go out and buy stuff when I've got so much stash, as shown by putting everything in my Notion. So I have these two. These are Karen Water Lily silks. I think they go well together. I could just put it on white. Or I could dye it, maybe just give it like a grey tinge. Can I do it 1/1 on 40 count with silk? Or do I have to get some, 100 weight or whatever? I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to do a swatch test. I could definitely do it 2/2. What? 1/2. I mean, there's a lot of fabric. Like, I don't need all this fabric for this one thing. So I'll have to swatch and see, because if it gets really bulky, there's some really dense stitching in it. I don't want to get frustrated by it. But, like, that would be enough for the whole thing. Did I try 1/? I have my little calculator, hold on. Okay, so yeah, that's enough for 1/1 on 40 count. So yeah, I guess if I'm not doing 1/1 on 40 count, I need a new plan. It's gonna be okay, isn't it? I'll do a swatch, but it's gonna be okay. So that's my plan for, it's not time flies, it's no time like the present. Third plan for 2024. First most magnificent ink circles round robin. Carry on with that. There'll be 2 rounds left of that. I have to mail Deanna's that is now finished. December 30th. I might send. I'll probably just send it now to Rob, so we miss the Christmas thing. I'll message the group and find out. Second most magnificent ink circles around robin. So I am in a group with Julia, Kim, Natty, and me. We're all doing it on 40 count. I have made a 1, 2, 3 stitch purchase that is on the way to me with the pattern that I chose is Forest Flower, but I'm going to change the colours to be more like the colours that were used in my After the Roses. So this is what I picked. 4 sulkies and an Aurifil 12 weight. Can you do Aurifil 12 weight 2/1/2 on 40 count? Is it going to be too bulky? I don't know. I'll have to do a swatch. I've got this piece of pewter 40 count linen. I don't know whether it'll be too grey. We don't have to send this until the end of March, I don't think. So if I get my fabric of the month 40 count, I don't have any like beige 40 count. don't know. I just want to use my stash. I want to use my stash and not keep buying stuff. Which I guess takes me on to, this is my Kit It Up swap. I think I'm nearly done. I won't show you it because I don't know if the person that is my partner watches. But like, I managed to get some things out of my stash. The patterns that they wanted I didn't have in stash. So I bought them and some top up things, but like managed to pass on some of my stash, which is lovely. But because I'm sending one, I'm gonna get one. And I don't know, obviously I don't know what the person is getting me. I sent them my wish list. Forest flower was on my wish list, as were some other ink circles that were my choice for the second most magnificent ink circles round robin. So I hope they haven't bought that one. But then this is getting sent in February, so I'll have had to have started my ink circles before then. I feel like there's a lot of plans that didn't make a lot of sense, but I've put a lot of work into that. Obviously I still need to put more work into it. I don't really know what to do. So, plans from here. Try and touch all of these I haven't touched before New Year's. I'm not going to film another Flosstube. I'm going to go into Flossmas from next week, and I'll film a little bit a day opening my Cottage Garden Threads advent calendar and stitch it all together and do post like weekly. And then either like 30th, 31st, or maybe even the 1st, I'll film a whip parade and we'll go through all my whips and I'll tell you about my finishes that I've done in 2023 and all of that jazz. And maybe I'll have some new starts. I don't know how long this is going to be. This is going to be a really long one and it's all chaotic, as I said at the beginning. I need to go and get some lunch. If you've got any questions, leave them below. Leave me comments. I love to see them. And I'll see you Flossmas. Bye all.